Hi, I'm Brian Marks, one of the partners at Knopman Marks Financial Training. We are excited to help you prepare for the Series 79 exam. You should anticipate committing about 100 hours of time to prepare for the exam over a 5 to 8 week period. The very first step is to tear open that FedEx package, break out that book, and start reading the book. And come back to this video when you're done reading. I'll just wait. No, I'm just kidding. But in reality, you do need to read the book. When you're reading, pay special attention to the shaded Knopman notes. Those are very important items that are likely to be heavily tested on the examination. Some of you have experience with valuation, financial statements, and M&A work. If that's the case, we suggest that you start by reading the second half of the book first, beginning with Chapter 9, because the first half will be content that you're more familiar with. Let's talk about the specifications of the Series 79 exam. The test is 5 hours long and 185 total questions. Of those 185 questions, 175 are graded and 10 experimental questions on the test do not count towards your score. The passing score is a 73% and all questions are 4 choices, multiple choice. There will be an exhibit book provided for your use. Those exhibits will come up on the screen and will include prospectus tables, comps tables, balance sheets, and other financial statements used to answer a dozen or so questions on the exam. You should expect to be able to finish the time within the allotted 5 hours. The test is broken into 4 topic areas: valuation and financial statements, capital markets, M&A, and general securities industry regulations. Overall, though, there's not a whole lot of math. The exam is about 10% math. For those of you who spend significant time working with valuation and financial statements, there's a lot of other stuff on the exam, like building a book and preparing an IPO, preparing M&A deal work, and general securities industry regulations. The best practices for you to prepare for the exam, as I mentioned earlier, are to start by reading the book. Again, if you are an experienced investment banker, read the second half first. After that, you're going to attend one of our programs. It could be either a live class or our on-demand lectures. The program covers the most heavily tested content on the exam and the most difficult concepts on the test. And in training, we are very, very shallow. Our only goal is to help you prepare for the exam. If you start to get curious in class, or if you want to become a better investment banker, that's the wrong place. Our only goal in training is to help you prepare to pass the Series 79 examination. After that, you're going to complete lots of practice questions. You're going to work on our new test prep site, where you can build exams on all topics, or you can build exams on specific topics. We recommend completing at least 1,000 practice questions before taking the test. Finally, you can complete our diagnostic and benchmark exams, which are each 100 questions long, and they will predict your score on the actual exam to within 5 points. We're also going to give you a document called a class summary. That class summary details recent trends on the exam, recent rule changes, and frequently asked items. It's very important that you read that class summary multiple times before you take the test. The class summary could add 10 or 12 points to your score. I'd also like to spend a minute talking about best study practices for the exam. What you can't do is only study on weekends. If you only study weekends, you move backwards during the week. So then on the weekend, maybe you take 1 step forward, and then during the week, you take 2 steps back. It's very important that you're committing at least a half hour of studying every other day. I'd rather have you study for an hour every day, but I know that's not always practical. The absolute minimum is 30 minutes at least every other day. Fairly typical that for candidates who take the 79, they take a day or 2 out of the office before they take the exam to do last-minute cramming. So you should look ahead in your calendar, figure out a time in your calendar where you're not going to be quite as busy, and try to schedule the Series 79 exam around that time. And finally, it's important that we have a 2-sided dialogue as you continue your preparation. This is a 1-sided dialogue, of course, but every other conversation after this is going to be 2-sided. We train thousands of candidates every year for the exam at bulge bracket banks and boutique firms. The pass rate for our candidates is over 95%. We are absolute experts on the Series 79 exam, and our materials are best in class. So the absolute best thing you can do is keep in touch with us. Let's have a conversation about your specific approach, your specific background. Those conversations can be at night on the weekends. We recognize that's when you're doing a lot of your studying. You have my personal contact information, my cell phone number, my email, and I'm just sitting around waiting for you to give me a call. So thanks very much, and we're looking forward to helping you prepare for the exam.